peace and blessings be upon you. As you know, my name is Paul McCoy. Welcome to The Greatest Struggle, Overcoming You. I'm here this morning. I just had a conversation with my daughter, and I was reminded of why it is that I do what I do. Sometimes when you're doing things, people want to know, why do you do what you do? So as you guys know, I'm a therapist and I'm a life coach, and I really like motivating and inspiring people. So my daughter recently graduated from college, and when she graduated, after graduation, people have a tendency to say, I don't know what's next. I don't know where I'm going to go with my life. I want to be inspired. I want to be motivated. I want to do something in my life that's going to be meaningful. So I said to my daughter at the time, and please, if you don't already have it, I think this would be a good time to grab your notepad and your pen, because I think there's going to be some information that's going to be very valuable in this talk with you that you can take along with you. So in this conversation with my daughter, I told her, I said, in life, in order for you to be successful, number one, you have to find something that you really want to do. You have to walk in your purpose. And then number two, you have to be hungry. I used to listen to Les Brown in his very famous speech, and he said, in order for you to be successful, you have to be hungry. That's the way he did it. And for those of you who've heard that, he was very passionate about it. But then I asked my daughter a simple question, a very important question. And subsequently, I asked a lot of people afterwards, because I realized that a lot of people have never been hungry. Me, myself, I've been hungry. What does it mean to be hungry? Hunger doesn't mean that you've gone out and you hadn't eaten things all day. I'm a Muslim, we fast during the day, we get hungry during the day, but that's not real hunger, because we know where our next meal is coming from. Hunger is like, I don't know where that meal is coming from. So I had this type of conversation with my daughter, and I want to share with you that conversation and the things that I've learned in my lifetime about being hungry. See, when people talk about what are the necessities of life, what is it that you need to survive? So there are 4 elements normally that's given: food, shelter, water, and love. So it always, when you hear people talk about these things, it starts off with food. Now, my question to you, and please put it down in the comments: have you really been hungry? Do you understand what hunger does to you? When I asked the people out there, have you ever been hungry? One of the first things that a person said to me was, hungry? Yeah, I had the feeling of hunger, but I've always known where my next meal is going to come from. Real hunger, you don't know where your next meal is going to come from. When you're hungry, it makes things change. Hunger puts a sense of urgency in you, because you realize that in order for me to survive, I'm going to have to supply my body with nutrients. When you're really hungry, nothing matters. Pride goes out the window when you're hungry. You see, the hungry person, when they're really hungry, they will take food that someone else had already eaten off of. I remember being on the trains back in New York, and this one guy, he comes on, he's like, look, I hadn't eaten in a few days. I'm not going to ask anybody for money, but if you have some food that you're not eating right now, I promise you, I'll just take it and that'll be good. So this one guy sitting on the train, he took a big bite out of a sandwich and he said, well, if you're hungry, eat this. Not only did the guy eat it, he actually went to the part of the sandwich that the guy bit from, and he ate that sandwich, and everybody on the train had given them money. Now, it could have been a ploy, but to me, it showed me how important it was for this man to get food, because he didn't know this man, and even if he did, that's nasty, eating behind somebody that you didn't know previously. This hunger, as a kid, I remember being hungry. My mother came home from work one day. In our cupboards, we didn't have any food. Now, growing up, it was hard on us. We didn't always have. But on this particular Friday night when my moms came home, She looked in the cabinet and there was one can of tuna. Unbeknownst to me until later on, my mother had taken 6 pieces of bread from her job that she was working on at the time. She came home, she made the tuna fish sandwiches. She made tuna, we had sandwiches, and she sat us down and said, "Boys, we don't have no food in the house." Immediately I cried because I thought about being hungry. Now I'm going to talk about that story later on, but I knew I was hungry. Later on in life, I did some things on my own. My own hands brought it on me, where I made myself hungry because I wasn't doing the things I needed to do. But when you're hungry, and if you've never experienced hunger, then you don't understand what hunger does to you. What does hunger do to you? Hunger makes you go out and ask people time and time again for something because you can't get it on your own. Imagine now, let's just change this into lifetimes. If you wanted to do something in life and you wanted to be successful for it, if someone told you no, a lot of times we quit. But when you're hungry, you will ask 30 people back to back to back, being rejected time and time again until someone gives you something. And if that person doesn't give you something, you're willing to go and dig in trash cans to get something so that you can have something to eat. It's that urgency, that thing that when your belly button is touching your backbone, that's hunger. That urgency to make you want to get out there and do things that you wouldn't ordinarily do, that's hunger. I shared with my daughter, until you have that experience, until you know what hunger is, until you don't know where your next meal is coming from, until you have to go dig in the gutters, until you have to go and beg people for things that you wouldn't normally do, your pride is gone. You hadn't experienced that hunger. And until you want to be successful in life, like you want to get food when you're hungry, it's not going to happen for you the way that you want it to happen. I do what I do because I want everyone to be successful. And normally, you're only successful when you overcome the things within you. The struggle is within you. Once you overcome you, everything else in life falls into place. We talk about how to build you as a person. We talk about how to instill that hunger in you. If you've never been physically hungry, it's kind of hard to imagine what it means to be hungry enough in this world called success. I wanted to share this with you guys this morning. You know, young people who just graduating college, high school, people who are transitioning in jobs, and you don't know what's going to happen. This happens to the best of us. What are we going to do next? Find your purpose. Understand your purpose. And then make that purpose your food that you're not getting. Be hungry for it. Go on, knock on every door. Turn over every stone. Dig into the trash can. Be innovative. Do what you need to do to satisfy that hunger. And life is going to be better for you. Always put God first, and everything else will fall into place. Again, my name is Paul McCoy. This is The Greatest Struggle, Overcoming You. If there was anything that was beneficial to you, that you feel that would help you along your path, please share this, like it, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Ask others to subscribe to. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.